Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, and let's begin on our backs. So just come to any comfortable position on your back. You could be lying down in Shavasana. You could have the soles of your feet together like butterfly. You could have your feet up the wall. Anything that feels comfortable to you to begin the practice. And start to settle in here, slowing down the breath, tuning into yourself. You've committed to this hour. It's a gift you've given yourself. So begin to breathe. Notice your inhales, your exhales. Notice where your body might be holding any tension and try to let it go. Softening if you can in the brow, maybe figurating the jaw. And then see if you can find a bit of stillness. No more fidgeting. There's nothing to fix. You're right where you should be. So our intention for the practice is agency, knowing that this is your practice. You choose the movements. I'll suggest a lot of shapes. I'll demonstrate the whole time, but you do what feels right for your body this morning, this afternoon, this Saturday. So choose your tempo, your pace. Make choices to stay in control of your body. So with that intention of agency in mind, we're going to start with a quote from Nayyirah Waheed. She says, "No might make them angry, but it will make you free. If no one has ever told you, your freedom is more important than their anger." So know that any posture I suggest today, you can just choose no and come back to your back like this, come to child's pose, take control of your yoga practice. Let's take a few audible exhales. So inhale deeply, fully through the lungs, and then just sigh it out. Do that about 3 or 5 more times. Just let it go. No one can hear you unless you're practicing with a partner, a neighbor, a puppy. Just let it go, fully, deeply exhaling. Maybe one more, biggest one yet. And if you choose to use my playlist or any playlist, you can go ahead and press play. And from your back, just come into happy baby. So feet to the sky, hands to the ankles or soles of the feet, and pull the knees down outside the rib cages. See if you can lower your sacrum down as your head and shoulders stay relaxed. Maybe rock your head side to side. Maybe straighten one leg and the other, or roll a bit on your lower back. Like a baby would, just exploring this first bit of movement. And then draw your knees to your chest, give yourself a hug. Start to rock and roll forward and back on your spine and come to seated position. From your seat, extend your right leg long, lengthen your spine, and your right leg can be however you want. Dig your heel into the earth. Grab your left leg, kind of like pigeon, and start to rock the leg. So you're cradling, imagine you're holding a baby, just kind of cradling the baby to open up the hip joint. If you're very flexible at this time, you could wrap your sole of your foot into your crook of your elbow, and same on the other side, but be gentle with yourself as if you have a baby. Just warming up as your shin moves forward and back. And then next time you bring your leg to the right, put sole of the foot outside of the right thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine, ground through the tailbone, and twist to the left. Left hand behind the spine to find length. Maybe right hand just up and over. Inhale, grow long, and exhale, twist into that space. One more breath like that. Inhale to lengthen. Crown of the head reaches higher. And exhale, ring out the spine. And then start to take a counter twist to your right. Right hand comes behind you. Spread all 5 fingers on the right hand. Roll to the outside edge of right foot. Press into the left foot. Maybe heel toe it further away. And come into a variation of side plank. So hips come off the earth. Left arm over the ear. Feel the space. Reach through the side body. Exhale, hips come down. Shake the legs out, shake the arms out. Let's go to the other side. So left leg stays long. Press the sole of the foot down, flex the toes towards shin, and start to lift your right leg, cradling the baby. So you can roll the shoulders back to stay lifted in your spine. Just gently rocking the baby, rocking your leg. Beautiful. And And notice what sensations come up. Whatever you're feeling in your body is right. There's no wrong in yoga. Make sure there's no pain. And then cross the right foot outside of left thigh. Find length and then begin to twist. Right hand can come behind the back to facilitate and support your twist. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale to grow long. Exhale to twist a little deeper. And it's the beginning of practice, so maybe it's not a huge movement. Start to counter twist to the left. Left hand comes back behind you. Spread the fingers wide. That's going to be your base. Heel toe your right foot a little further. Roll your left foot down, so left pinky toe touches the earth. Press into left palm. Lift hips. Right arm over ear. Reach and spread through your fingers. Exhale, lower back down. Again, shake out the arms, shake out the legs, kind of let that go. And then come onto a comfortable seat. Maybe your legs are crossed or maybe you're in butterfly pose. We're going to do a little bit of wrist and arm work to warm up. So extend your arms away from you. Fingers face the ceiling. If you want to sit, again, on a pillow or a block to have a little more lift in your spine, that's always an option. Any props are always welcome. Lower your fingers to the earth and then point them back to the sky. And keep going with your breath. Kind of slow movement. Relax the shoulders. Great for any texting or typing you might do. Great because we put a lot of weight onto our wrists in yoga. You can always do the practice from fists if it's too much pressure on your wrist. So just keep going. One more time to the ceiling and to the earth. And then point your thumbs down, pinkies up, and just tiny pulses backwards. Your arms might get tired as we do this little bit of warm up. That's kind of the point to engage the arms, warming them up, but you can always take a break. Little pulses back. Imagine you're resisting against honey or syrup. And then flip the thumbs forward, press forward now. Keep the arms long and strong. Engaged muscles are lighter muscles, so spread through all 10 fingers. Beautiful. Little pulses. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Now, palms up. Imagine you're holding something heavy but really important, and you're just lifting it up. You don't want it to drop. It's fragile, but you're super strong. Little pulses to the ceiling for 3, 2, 1. Keep the arms long and then bend the elbows, tap the shoulders, and extend. Keep going. Nice work. Little tricep curl. Let's take one more, nice and slow. Beautiful work. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. And let's come all the way onto our back. We're going to do a little bit of core work here to warm up before we move it through sun salutation. So come onto your back. Soles of the feet planted. Feet are parallel, about hip width distance apart. Knees are bent. Interlace your hands behind your back just for support. You're not going to yank on your neck. We're going to do a variation of a crunch. Keep your elbows wide, almost so that you can't see them in your peripheral view. So you'll inhale, press the lower back into the earth. So you'll feel the tailbone tuck and your lower back press into your mat. Inhale, lift shoulder blades, keep elbows wide, and lift your toes. Exhale, lower everything down. Do it again. So feet and upper body lift at the same time. Legs and arms, shoulder blades lift. Exhale, lower. Keep the space between chin and chest. So you're looking to the sky, elbows stay wide. Keep going for this little variation of a crunch, or add on by, instead of lowering down, you'll just hover. So you'll inhale, lift, and then hover, shoulders, hover, feet off the earth. Beautiful choices. Let's take 3 more. Breathe with it. Inhale, little crunch. Exhale, slow lower. Nice work. Let that go. Take a full body stretch. Like you just woke up in the morning. Reach your fingers, reach your toes. Extend. And then press the heels into the earth. Flex your toes. Press your heels even more into the earth to lift your calves, your thighs, even your hips come off. Engage the legs. And let that go. Shake out the legs. Nice work. Next core exercise, knees over hips. Keep the shins far away from you. They're going to want to draw towards you. So shins stay parallel with the hips. From here, you'll lift shoulder blade. Keep the elbows wide and just start to bicycle nice and slow. Bicycle crunching. from one side to the other, opposite elbow towards opposite shin or thigh. And then pause on one side and pulse it higher for 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, 3 pulses. You got it. 3, 2. Lift your shoulder blade. 1. Now let's pulse twice. 1, 2. You got this. 1, 2, and then back to 1. Straighten the legs, straight leg bicycles. Of course, you could take any other core exercise or just stay on your back, giving yourself a hug till we finish this. Okay, pause, pick one side, 3 pulses. Here we go, lift higher. Elbows wide, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs, 3, 2, 1, and 2. Switch again for 2. You can slow it down if you need to, and then 1, and let it go. Take a full body stretch again. Maybe hands to your belly, feel the belly rise and fall. Maybe that audible exhale. One more big breath. Okay, last core exercise from our back here. Knees over hips again. Extend your knees wide, kind of like frog legs. Flex your toes towards your shins. And again, the tendency is for your thighs to come closer, so keep them about right over your hips. Tuck the tailbone. You'll already start to feel your core engage, your lower back press into the earth. Lift the arms, shoulders up. Reach your arms through. And it's a really subtle, small movement. Just tuck your tailbone and reach your arms through. Exhale, tailbone comes down, shoulders lower. 2 more. Reach through, tucking the tailbone. Exhale, let it go. You might barely move, but probably you'll feel it. Hands to the knees, close the legs like a book. Give yourself a hug. And then rock and roll to cross-leg position again. Doesn't matter which shin is in front. Inhale, arms to the sky, reach tall. Exhale, cross right under left and grab onto your opposite knees. Round the spine, you might need to lift your knees high. Inhale, arms up. Now switch the cross of your legs, the less natural version. See if you can do it without even using your hands. It's challenging, nice. And then left under right, grab onto opposite kneecaps and round the spine again. Cat pose in the spine. Exhale, release the hands and just play with that switching of the legs. It's pretty difficult. You might need to use your hands. You might just be kind of tiptoeing your feet over, but your core is working. And when you're tired of that, let's come to standing, mountain pose. See if you can do so without using your hands, or maybe just one hand. I need to cross my legs to get there, but it's a great exercise for longevity. How can you get off the floor? So feet are parallel. Come on up. Lift all 10 toes. Close the eyes. Palms forward. Roll the shoulders back and down. Feel shoulders over hips, over knees, over ankles. Find your proud mountain pose. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open the eyes, reach the arms to the sky, and come onto your toes. So lift the heels. Exhale, lower the hands, lower the heels. Repeat, just keep going. Kind of warming up the calves. It's okay if you're wobbling. Engaging the ankles, playing with stability. Just moving with your breath at your own pace. Inhale, you rise. Maybe hold and hover a little. And exhale, you lower. Beautiful. Let's take one more. This time, as you lower, hinge from the hips. Maybe bend the knees softly, forward fold. Interlace hands around elbows, ragdoll pose, sway side to side, shifting the weight in your feet. And then everybody deeply bend left knee, left hand down, reach right hand to the sky. Relax your head and neck. Crown of the head can just reach towards the earth. Switch sides, right knee bends generously, right hand plants, or your right hand is tented up like a spider or on a block or your water bottle. Left hand reaches to the sky. Roll your left shoulder back, relax head and neck. And now we're going to take that a little bit faster if you'd like, switching side to side. bending, pedaling the knees, rotating the shoulders, the torso, or you can just stay in a forward fold. As you're ready, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, hands graze the legs except for anywhere but the knees. They can be on shins or thighs. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Full inhale here. In plank, you can always lower the knees. Shoulders are over the wrists. Reach energy out of your heels. Big inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Walk the dog first, down dog of practice. So pedal the legs. Find your down dog. Maybe your arms, your feet are wider, your hands are wider. Spread through all 10 fingers. And then start to find a more still downward facing dog. You can always have a slight bend to the knees. From down dog, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels further towards the earth. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift. Heels up. Exhale, lower. 1 more, heels high. Start to bend your knees, look forward, and tiptoe all the way to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise, mountain pose, arms up over the ears. Maybe you lift onto your toes. And exhale, fold all the way forward. Half lift. Plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower all the way to your belly in one piece, bending the elbows close to the body. Untuck the toes, find any cobra variation. Arms can be wider or forward, heart pulls through. Collarbones broaden, squeeze shoulder blades together. Beautiful. Make your way to downward facing dog. It could be through a child's pose, it could be through a tabletop, or pressing through plank. From down dog, take a full breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, heels rise, knees bend. If you feel ready, hop or walk to the top of your mat, softly and quietly landing. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Again, you could choose to lift the heels. And exhale, lower all the way, forward fold. Halfway lift. Release. Step to plank. Maybe notice which leg is your lead and switch it up. This time, everybody lower knees, chest, and chin. Come to the belly. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 more sun salutation. Different variation. You can move slower or faster than my suggested pace. Bend your knees, lift your heels, look forward. See if you can get your hips over your wrists as you float and land gently. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise, maybe heels lift. Exhale, lower. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step, or if you'd like to hop back to plank, do so with bent elbows, support the shoulders. Cobra or up dog, shoulders, roll back, deeper back bend, thighs and knees are off the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Bend the knees, look to your hands. 1 more chance to hop forward or walk. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Rise to mountain all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Sink hips down, arms back like an airplane. Inhale, mountain. Again, always the option to come up to your toes. Engage the calves. Exhale, chair. Inhale, mountain. Keep going. Exhale, chair. Sink lower. Inhale, mountain. Chair pose is not my favorite pose. Might not be yours either. You might love it. But we're not staying for long. Of course, you could hold it if you prefer. We're going to take a couple more. Remember, you're in charge. You can always skip a chair pose. 1 more, chair. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Make your way back, downward facing dog. You could take the vinyasa flow of choice or just press hips up high. You can always take knees, chest, chin, or the chaturanga, whatever variation of the flow. From down dog, lift your right leg to the sky. Point your toes, start to make little circles with your right leg. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose, right leg is still lifted. You could lower your left knee and shin for support. And then switch directions of the circle. Press up, three-legged dog, right leg is still lifted, little circles. And then cross right leg over left. Press your left heel back. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Tap your right foot off your mat, or if you don't have space, just tap wide to the right. Right toe taps. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Now let's tap right leg to the left. You might need to bend your left knee. Little tap. One more each side. Tap to the right and tap to the left. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg high. Draw your right knee towards your right elbow and step it outside your right hand. It's like lizard pose. Exhale, lower the hips, lift the chest. Cow pose in the spine. Exhale, round the back, press your palms. Two more. Use your breath. It's like cat-cow in your spine. Your legs are just a little bit moving, a dynamic lizard. And then everybody lower your left knee to a variation of low lunge. Make sure your back knee is supported. You could double up the mat. Untuck your back toes, reach back with right hand. Really feel the energy coming out of your right hand. Stay right here, or bend your left knee and maybe reach for your foot. If you have a strap or a scarf or something, you could always use that. Stay for 3 breaths. Keep drawing your right hip in. As you're ready, gently release your right hand down. Left foot down. Heel toe your right foot across the mat. We're setting up for a half pigeon, but we're not going to lower down. So your right shin comes across the mat. It does not have to be parallel. It could be at an angle. Lift your heart, lift your chest, and then plant your hands. Choose to stay here, or 3 traditional push-ups. So instead of elbows in, like yoga push-ups, elbows out wide. Exhale to lower. Inhale, press away. Maybe you do it once or twice more. And then everybody, tuck your left toes, lift your right leg high, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Right heel towards left, butt cheek, and scorpion the dog. Maybe even flip the dog. If you flip, start to come back. 3-legged down dog. Right knee draws towards nose. Exhale, right leg high. Again, right knee draws towards nose. Use your core. Exhale, press it high. This time, right knee draws forward and step it between the hands. Maybe you need to inch it to help it get there. Take a breath. Inhale. Rise all the way up. High lunge. Right knee over your right ankle. Press out of your left heel, lift your left thigh. Shoulders over hips. Spread through fingers, relax shoulders down the back. One more, inhale. Exhale, left heel down, right arm forward, left arm back. Warrior 2. Take time to set up your stance. Maybe you want to take it a little bit wider. Again, tracking right knee over right ankle. Spread through fingers. Maybe you lift your right heel for a breath. See how that feels. Exhale, lower. Inhale, arms up, straighten your right leg. Exhale, sink deeper into your lunge. Now we have some options. You can stay in Warrior 2. You could just take that flow, or we're going to move to the back of the mat. So inhale, arms up, straighten your leg. Turn your toes through center to the left. Then you bend your left knee and you're doing Warrior 2 to the back of the mat. Inhale, arms up, legs straighten. Turning the toes back to the front, warrior two. Again, lift the arms, lift the legs, and exhale, bend the knee into warrior two. Come on back through center, both legs straight, right toes face forward. You're facing the front of your mat again with your toes. Bump your hips back, reach forward and down, set up for triangle. You could always use a block or a water bottle, hand to shin. Roll left shoulder back, lean back. Imagine you're pressing, feeling that resistance again with your left hand. You can always relax the head and the neck. Soften the gaze. One more inhale. And then rise up with the arms, hands to hips, left toes turn. We're gonna take any hamstring stretch of choice. So it could be pyramid, where you fold forward over two straight legs. You could lower your back knee and take a half splits from a low lunge, flexing your toes to your face. Or you could take a standing splits. For me, it looks like a standing L. So choose a hamstring stretch and we'll stay for about 5 breaths. Whichever posture, keep squaring your hips, so left hip forward, right hip back. Relax the head, relax the neck. If you're in standing splits, lower your back foot to the earth. If you're in low lunge, come on up to pyramid. Let's all meet in pyramid. Everybody bring your hands to your hips. Lift your torso. Start to bend your front knee. So you're in a short little lunge here. Chest is reaching forward, powerful lunge. Start to, with elbows bent, imagine you're running in place. So your lower body stays still, just upper body's moving. Beautiful. I know this isn't really yoga posture, but I thought it would be fun. So just bear with me. If you want to add a little aerobic exercise, move a little faster. Let's just take 5 more breaths. 5 more seconds. Maybe you're sprinting in place. Keep the legs stable. Nice work. Plant the hands, step back. Take a flow or just meet up in down dog. Hopefully this is waking you up. Take your time to make your way to downward facing dog. Let's take a full breath together when we get there. Inhaling fully. Exhale, letting it go. Beautiful work on the right side. Let's do the left. Left leg lifts. Point the toes. Start to circle. Little circles. Shift the weight forward. Shoulders over wrists. You're in a 3-legged plank. You can lower the right knee and switch direction of the circle. Beautiful. Press back. 3-legged dog. Circling in the opposite direction. Nice work. Left leg crosses behind right. Your ankles are crossed. Press your heels back. Inhale, left leg high. Tap your left foot to the left. Inhale, lift your left heel high. Tap your left foot to the right, maybe bending your right knee to create space. Lift high. 1 more each side, just a little tap left, tap right. Left leg to the sky. Inhale here. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Feel the space. Maybe flip the dog. Come on back. This time, left foot towards left elbow. Step it outside your hand. Lower the hips. Lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine, press your palms. Couple more, just dynamic lizard. Feel the space in your hips. Beautiful. Then lower your right knee, Low lunge variation. Make sure your knee feels supported. Right hand stays where it is. Left hand reaches back. Spread all through the fingers. Feel the energy reaching behind you. Maybe you take a bind, bending your right leg and reaching back for ankle or foot. You have the bind, breathe into your quads. If you don't, just focus on the twist of the torso. One more breath. Slow it down. Inhale as deeply as you can. Slowly on your exhale, release the bind if you have it. Heel toe your left foot across the mat, setting up for pigeon. We'll return here in our warm down. But for now, keep the chest lifted. It's called pigeon because you puff up your chest. So plant the palms and choose if you want to take a couple push-ups or just stay here. If you're pushing up, exhale, lower. Inhale, press, then tuck the toes. Lift the left heel high. Then open up the hip, take another scorpion, fire hydrant pose. And then straighten your left leg. Draw your left knee to your forehead. Exhale, press it high. One more, left knee comes through towards the nose. Exhale, lift it high. This time, draw it all the way through and step it down between the hands. Inhale here. Maybe heel toe your left foot to the left. And slowly rise up, crescent high lunge. Shoulders over hips. Left knee over ankle. Press your right heel behind you. Pull your rib cage in. Exhale, right heel down, warrior two. Spin open, take up space. Spread through fingers, palms face down. Beautiful, but relax the shoulders. Maybe you come onto your left toes, lifting the heel. See how that feels. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, everybody straighten your arms overhead, straighten your left leg. And exhale, bend a little deeper into your warrior two. Now you can choose stay in warrior two. Just keep going, facing forward, up and down, nice and slow with the breath. Or as you rise up, turn the toes to the back of the mat and take a warrior two to the back. Really encourage you to move intuitively. You don't have to do what I'm doing or what you did in another yoga practice. There's no shoulds. Next time you come through center, let's take triangle pose. So legs straight, arms wide, bump your hips back, reach forward and down so you're getting the second side of your triangle, Trikonasana. Relax the head. Left hand can be on left leg, on the floor, on a prop. Roll right shoulder back, pull up on left kneecap. Press to the outside edge of right foot. One more inhale here. And then exhale, bring your right hand to your hip. Start to turn your back foot in about 45 degrees, moving into your hamstring stretch. Either pyramid pose, right knee comes down for a half splits, or standing splits for a little more balance. You don't have to choose the same thing as the other side. Each side is not identical, we're not symmetrical, so make a choice in this moment. So let's stay and breathe 5 breaths. If your right knee is down, lift it back up, make your way to pyramid. If your right leg is in the air, slowly lower it down. Everybody bring your hands to your hips. Bend your left knee over your ankle. Lift your torso. You're in a short lunge, and let's take those running in place. You can imagine you're moving through molasses, slow motion. Keep drawing left hip to the midline. Keep the hips stable, legs stable. If you liked playing with that sprinting motion, we have just a few seconds to play with elevating cardio, heart rate here. All right, let that go. Nice choices. Plant the hands, step back, take a flow, or skip it, meeting in down dog. From down dog, let's all take 2 breaths together. One more, wash out that sequence. Let it go. And then let's all take child's pose. We have 4 breaths here. Toes kiss together, knees wide. Let the belly release between the thighs, foreheads to the mat. Feel that connection. Observe the breath, the quality of the nervous system. It was a beautiful, challenging standing sequence. So let's take a moment to slow down before we have one more standing sequence and a warm down. One more breath in child's. When you're ready, down dog. Walk your feet wider. Take a wide leg down dog. Bend your knees and then walk your hands towards your feet, coming to a squat at the back of the mat. Your heels could be lifted or they could be lowered. Press the palms. Use your elbows against your thighs to open the chest. Inhale here. And then make a choice. You can stay right here. You could take frog pose as you're just turning on your mat so you have support. It's a deep hip stretch, or you could take crow, balancing posture. So if you're taking frog, your knees come down. Again, make sure you have support. Maybe double up the mat or use a pillow or blanket. Shins are parallel. Knees and ankles are in alignment. And you slowly lower maybe to forearms. You could always put a pillow or something beneath your chest. Just breathe and stay here. Do not push yourself past your limit because it's pretty intense for the hips. If you know crow and you want to play with crow, a balancing posture, you can always stand on a block or a prop to get that height as you begin the pose. Spread your fingers wide. Hands are about shoulder width distance apart. Your knees hug into your upper arm bones. You use your core. Look forward. Move forward. Maybe just one toe or one foot lifts off the earth, or maybe you draw your legs towards each other, toes towards each other, and play with the balance. You could also move into tripod headstand from here if you're working on more arm balances, and that's part of your practice. Let's take one more breath wherever you are. Come back to a squat when you're ready. Feet down, palms press, heart open. Nice work. If you're working on any arm balances, you can always check in with me for some suggestions or support after practice. All right, let's walk our hands all the way back through plank pose. Crawl to the front of the mat. From plank pose, lower the knees and hover the shins in the knees. Exhale, press heels back, plank pose. One more just like that. Knees slowly lower to hover, hovering tabletop. Exhale, press back. Okay, we're gonna add on here. You could always employ that mighty word no and just come to a tabletop or a child's pose. So step your right foot in, hover your right shin. Left foot steps in and hover. Step right foot back, left foot back, plank. Left foot steps in to hover, right foot, hovering table. Step left leg back, right foot back. Stay and hold plank, or again, option to elevate the heart rate. Hop in softly and back and hover. Hop back, plank. So you're hopping from hovering table to plank. Okay, everybody, shins down, tabletop. Close the eyes, cat-cow. Press through the palms, lift the heart, and then tuck your chin, look to your belly button. Move slowly through cat-cow, maybe adding some head or neck movement, hip movement. 5 more breaths. Undulating the spine. 1 more round. And then tabletop. Step back, plank pose. Promise we won't be doing that same thing. Feet wide, step wide. Roll your heels to the right. Press into your palms, bend your knees, hips towards heels, press back. Inhale, straighten. 1 more time. Heels come back, knees bend deeply. Come on back, wide leg plank. Go to the other side, so heels roll to the left. Bend the knees, press into the palms. And slowly, hips towards heels twice. This is too much for your shoulders, please don't do it. Come on back, plank pose, hips high, down dog. Full inhale here, we have 1 last bit of standing work. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, right leg lifts. Step your right foot between your hands. Choose low or high lunge, so left knee can come down, or keep your left knee lifted. Hands are framing your foot. Then inhale, just hover your fingers off the earth. They're floating. Engage your core. Make sure your torso is not resting on your thigh bone. Feel the engagement. Draw your elbows in. Bend the elbows. Extend your arms back, airplane arms. Sweep your arms up overhead. And then start over. Let's do that same pattern once or twice more. Fingers hover. Bend elbows. Sweep the arms behind you. Reach the arms overhead. Beautiful work. 1 more if you choose. Same pattern. This time when the arms are overhead, rise up, lower your back heel, warrior 1. So maybe walk your right foot wider for space in your hips. Shoulders down the back. Spread through fingers. Draw your left hip and left shoulder forward, right hip, right shoulder back. Beautiful, warrior 1. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, find star pose. Spread through fingers, spread through your heels, press down, plant the hands together, goddess squat. So heels press into the earth, knees back. Maybe pulse here, a little lower, you got it. 3, 2, 1, inhale, star. Carve with your hands to frame the left foot facing the back of your mat, and let's do that on the other side. So maybe you lower, low lunge, back knee comes down. Maybe you keep it lifted. As you're ready, engage the legs, engage the arms, hovering off the earth, bend elbows, arms to airplane, sweep overhead. Repeat once or twice more. You know the pattern now. You can also change it and make it your own. Keep breathing. When your arms are up, transition to warrior 1. Lift the torso, left knee over ankle, right heel comes down. I like to walk my left foot wider. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, open up, star, spread through fingers. Heels in, toes out. Press into the palms. I'm going to turn to face you. Goddess squat, sink down, horse pose. Beautiful. Maybe play with lifting your toes and balancing on lifting your heels, balancing on toes. Exhale, lower down. Plant the hands on your inner thighs. Release the chest and the shoulders. Dip one shoulder, look to the left. Switch sides. Stay or hold long on one side or switch side to side. You can also play with lifting one heel and the other and see if that feels good or lets you go deeper. Beautiful work. We're almost there, coming to an active and then more passive warm down. Everybody rise up, star pose as you're ready. Press into the heels. Spread the hands. Cartwheel to the front of the mat. Step back, plank. Press hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Right knee towards right elbow. Step it outside your hands. Just lift the chest. And then step back, down dog. Left leg lifts. Step it outside your left hand. Lift the chest. Down dog. Stay and hold down dog, or take that one more time each side. Stepping outside right hand. And back. And taking the left side. This could be your last downward facing dog practice. If you really are craving a flow of vinyasa, go for it. As you are ready from down dog, lift your right leg high, bend and open the knee. Scorpion the dog. Let's find half pigeon again. You could also take pigeon on the back, figure four, if this is too much for your body. Make sure your left leg is straight behind you. Lift the chest, and this time you can fold forward into sleeping pigeon if you'd like. If you do have any pillows or blocks around, you can always put that under your chest or use your palms for support. Stay and breathe in pigeon. Let's take one more breath. Start to press yourself back up. Let your right hip come down to the right. Bend your left knee and bring it to meet the sole of your right foot. So both knees are bent, I don't know, about 70 degrees or so. Left knee is kind of in the sole of your right foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist left. You're not going to go very far. Just see how that feels. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, twist to the right. Maybe you can twist a little deeper. And then lower your right heel of your right hand. Your right hand is your support. Inhale, hips forward, thighs forward, chest to the ceiling, left hand over your ear. Exhale, come on down. One more. Beautiful. Exhale, lower down. Shoulders over hips. Maybe use your hands, maybe don't. See if you can switch the legs. So left shin forward, right leg back. And just play with that. If you want to press to a three-legged down dog or take a flow between sides, we're going to move to pigeon on the second side. So your left shin is forward. For me, I kind of like to have the space of coming from down dog. It's up to you. Take your time to get into a sleeping pigeon. Check that your right leg is straight behind you. And lower down. Only as far as feels comfortable for your body today. Let's take one more breath. Then press into the hands. Left hip comes down. Right knee starts to bend. Draw your right knee up by your left foot. So two knees are bent. Stack shoulders over hips as best you can. Inhale, arms up overhead. And little twists to your right this time. So this is usually the counter twist. You may not go far. No need to force your head or your neck further. Inhale, arms up, overhead. Exhale, twist left. Right hand can be on the left shin, left hand on the earth. And then plant the left palm all the way down. Maybe it's behind you or off your mat. Inhale, hips rise. Heart and throat are open, thighs forward. Exhale, slowly lower, hips down. Take one more, inhale, lift. Exhale, slowly lower. Again, last bit of core engagement. If you'd like to play with floating your feet, try not to use your hands too much. Maybe you can kind of tiptoe them one side to the other. Maybe you hate this and you're over it. Whenever you're ready, come on to your back. Come on down. Hands to the kneecaps, make circles with the knees. In opposite directions, the same direction, switch directions. Just maybe flutter out the lips, sigh. Let something go. And then plant the soles of the feet. We're going to do a little bit of dynamic bridge into a static bridge, heart or back bend, heart opener, a twist and Shavasana. We're almost there. Fingers tickle your heels. Feet are pointed forward like the number 11, hip width distance. Inhale, hips rise. Press through the soles of the feet. Exhale, lower, tap the tailbone. Inhale, hips up. Keep going with your breath. If you want to take a more restorative back bend, you could bring a block or your hands under your sacrum and just hold it. Next time your hips are up, stay and hold. Maybe roll your shoulders under, interlace the palms beneath you. If you want a deeper back bend, hands can come alongside the ears. You can press into camel. Keep squeezing thighs together. Keep pressing through all four corners of feet. Imagine there's a block between your thighs that you're squeezing. Take 2 more breaths in whatever variation of the back bend you're in. And then start to exit slowly, 1 vertebra at a time, coming onto your back. Draw your knees to your chest. Let your hips bump to the right and then float your legs to the left. Maybe eagle legs crossing one over the other, or maybe just stacking one on top of the other. Legs left all the way to the earth. Gaze to the right and close the eyes. Left hand can encourage the thighs down by placing it on the right thigh. Slow down the breath. And slowly come back through center. Release the legs. Bump your hips to the left. Create some space for your legs to float to the right, maybe crossing one leg over the other. Turn your left ear to the left. Right hand can coax the hips to the earth. Slowly come on back. Happy baby. Soles of the feet to the ceiling. Hands to feet. Press your feet into your hands and your hands into your feet. Last posture before final resting. Maybe you rock it side to side or stick out your tongue, flutter out your lips, whatever you'd like to close your practice before the most important pose where we integrate all the work we've done. Make your way to your final Shavasana, corpse pose. Your feet and legs be wide and open. Palms can be up to receive, or maybe put one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Close the eyes. There's no more work to do. So get comfortable, any little props you need. And just return to your natural breath. Give yourself permission to just be here for a few minutes. I'll guide you out when it's time. As tenderly as you can, begin to reawaken the body. Deepening the breath. Starting with the extremities, wiggling fingers and toes, ankles and wrists, and eventually drawing your knees to the chest. Give yourself a hug. Thank your body for all it's done and all it's capable of. And take your time to curve and roll over to the fetal position and just pause. And stay there for another few breaths. Taking in this present moment. Noticing the quality of breath, quality of nervous system. Whenever you feel ready, use the strength of your hands to press yourself back up. We'll close as a community in a comfortable seated posture. Roll the shoulders up and back, lengthen the spine, find your seat, close the eyes. Lao Tzu says, mastering others is strength, mastering yourself is true power. So bring your hands to heart center, if that resonates for you. Let's take a big exhale. And then inhale, fully fill up. And let that go. Bow to seal your practice if you wish. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.